Well, guys, welcome to downtown Melo. You're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Thursday, June 25th, 2020, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Will Ferrell appeared on the Late Late Show with James Corden to discuss his upcoming Netflix film, Eurovision Song Contest, The Song of Fire Saga. The comedy follows Pharrell and Rachel McAdams as aspiring Icelandic musicians to compete at one of the world's biggest song competitions. The real Eurovision Song Contest was started in 1956 and consisted of 42 countries around Europe, including Australia and Israel. ABBA, Celine Dion, and more got their start at the contest. Farrell said about his and McAdams' characters, "We're kind of these long-shot loser band who's in a way over their heads, but we're so excited to be there." He continued, "It's really a movie about going after your dreams despite any sort of odds." Eurovision Song Contest, The Song of Fire Saga, premieres on Netflix Friday. Pierce Brosnan, Dan Stevens, and Demi Lovato also star. Farrell said about Bronson, "He's always good-looking, always, even when he sleeps. I snuck into his hotel room and watched him. He's gorgeous." Actor Taye Diggs is set to host the 26th Annual Critics' Choice Awards ceremony on the CW network. The event honoring excellence in TV and film is slated to take place on March 7th at the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica. Health considerations permitted, the network said in a press release. Many performances and prize presentations have been live streamed or televised from remote locations using video conference technology due to the coronavirus pandemic. The Critics' Choice Association CEO, Jolie Berlin, said in a statement, "Now more than ever, people are turning to film and television as a source of comfort, as a means of education, and as a way to connect. With the revised timeline, we're looking forward to celebrate all of the brilliant new work created during this extended season." The Daytime Emmy Awards and the BET Awards will be presented during virtual ceremonies this weekend, in keeping with the social distancing practices intended to slow the spread of the coronavirus. The Emmy Awards for television are to be handed out on September 20th. The Golden Globes for film and TV are set to be given on February 28th, and the Oscars for cinema will be presented on April 25th. The animated SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, is scheduled to get a video-on-demand release in early 2021, featuring a voice cast that includes Tom Kenny, Awkwafina, Clancy Brown, Roger Bumpass, Bill Fagerbakke, Carolyn Lawrence, Doug Lawrence, and Reggie Watts. The cartoon adventure is about what happens when SpongeBob's pet snail Gary goes missing. After the pay-per-view window closes, the film will then move to Viacom CBS subscription streaming service, CBS All Access, which will soon be the home of all prior seasons of Netflix's SpongeBob SquarePants TV show. Mark DeVos, the Chief Digital Officer of Viacom CBS and President and Chief Executive Officer of Viacom CBS Digital, said in a statement, "We're thrilled to have the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, a premiere, first-run movie from one of Viacom CBS' biggest brands, join CBS All Access, expanding the slate of franchise content from across Viacom CBS." He also added this launch will perfectly be timed with our continued expansion and planned rebranding of the service in early 2021, as we welcome SpongeBob and the gang from Bikini Bottom to the service in the biggest way possible. The announcement was made as many movie theaters remain closed and social distancing practices are in place in an effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus. The 2020 Toronto International Film Festival announced its lineup on Wednesday and explained how the event will proceed from September 10th to the 19th amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Halle Berry's directorial debut, Bruised, Ammonite, starring Kate Winslet and Saoirse Ronan, from director Francis Lee, Concrete Cowboys, starring Idris Elba, from director Ricky Staub, and Good Joe Bell, starring Mark Wahlberg, and from director Ronaldo Marcus, are among the films that are being screened. Another round from director Thomas Vinterberg, Fallen from director Nicholas Pereda, Spring Blossom from director Susan Linden, and True Brothers from director Naomi Kawase are also part of the lineup, along with interactive talks, cast reunions, and Q&A sessions. More titles will be announced over the summer, with the final lineup set to include 50 new movies and 5 programs of short films. The films over the festival's first 5 days will premiere physical social distancing screenings. Drive-in screenings will also be available. The festival is working with the province of Ontario, the city of Toronto, and public health officials to ensure safe screenings. TIFF 2020 will launch a digital platform in partnership with Shift 72 to present virtual screenings, red carpets, and industry talk. The festival announced TIFF Trivia Awards, which honors outstanding contributions to the film industry, will take place virtually. Additional information regarding the event will be announced at a later date. Demi Moore has signed on to star in the pandemic thriller Songbird, co-starring Craig Robinson, Paul Walter Hauser, and Peter Sommer. The film will be directed by Adam Mason, who will co-write the script with Simon Boyce. The project is being produced with Invisible Narratives in partnership with Catchlight Studios and Michael Bay. Filming will, quote, utilize strict social distancing practices and innovative techniques that will allow for shooting to begin imminently. Press release for the producers said on Wednesday. A synopsis of the movie describes it as a love story told from street level through the eyes of the characters. Songbird takes place 2 years into the future as lockdown has been re-implemented after a more serious virus continues to mutate. In a futile attempt to keep the sickness contained, the city has been bisected into haves and have-nots. The film centers around an essential worker who has a rare immunity, a delivery man who delivers goods, and hope throughout the city. Like the vast majority of the population, his girlfriend is locked with her rooms, and the couples have no ability to physically be together. To be with the loved ones he loves, our hero must overcome martial law, murderous vigilantes, and powerful, well-connected families held by a matriarch who will stop at nothing to protect her family and maintain her way of life. Barris appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon and discussed how he is developing a Juneteenth musical with Pharrell. Barris said on Tuesday he will be executive producing the play with Pharrell, who will handle the music. The plan is to release the project on Netflix by next Juneteenth. Juneteenth, short for June 19th, marks the true end of slavery across the United States in 1865. The holiday marks the day when enslaved black people in Galveston, Texas finally learned that they were free. 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation freed slaves in the United States in 1863. Barris says, I feel like, the notion of people understanding that slavery is the recessive scar that all of us, black, white, whatever, Asian, Latinx, like we all, as Americans, it's a thing that we all share. There's never been an apology for slavery. There's never been anything that says slavery was legally wrong. Greatest human atrocity in modern history. And so I feel like the idea of celebrating that from an American standpoint might really start to help the healing. So it's something really important to me. Barris also discussed how his 21-year-old daughter Kaylee got COVID-19 after going to Miami for her birthday. Barris says, I want people to know, it can happen to anyone. I pray that she's going to be okay. BBC Television Radio Network has announced plans to spend about $125 million towards creative, diverse, and inclusive content. The broadcaster said it wants its programming to better represent the public it serves. In an effort to accomplish this, it is setting a new mandatory 20% diverse talent target in all new BBC commissions starting in April. BBC Director General Tony Hall said in a statement, the senseless killing of George Floyd and what it tells us about the stain of systematic racism has had a profound impact on all of us. It's made us question ourselves about what's more can we do to help tackle racism and drive inclusion within our organization and in society as a whole. This is our response. It's going to drive change in what we make and who makes it. It's a big leap towards, and we have more to announce in the coming weeks. Charlotte Moore, the BBC's director of content, says, when I met filmmaker Steve McQueen last year during the making of Small Axe, he challenged me and the BBC to set meaningful targets and take proper action. He was right. Today's announcement represents a truly transformational commitment to both on and off-screen representation. Concrete, tangible actions is only the way we can bring about the real sustainability change. McQueen, whose films include 12 Years a Slave and Widows, recently wrote in an essay for The Observer about the changes he would like to see made in the entertainment industry. He says, "Yes, I'm fed up. I don't want to hear anyone say, oh yes, it's terrible, ever again. I hear it 1,000 times. They all agree, but nothing gets done. What I want to see is change, not hear excuses. It's just not healthy, it's wrong, and yet many people in the industry go along with it as if it is normal. It is not normal. It is anything but normal. It's blindly, obviously wrong. It's blatantly racism. Facts I grew up with." The BBC made its announcement as protesters around the world demanded racial equality and social justice in the wake of the death of George Floyd, a black man who died at the hands of a white police officer in Minneapolis this spring. The Queer Eye cast says the Supreme Court's historic ruling for LGBTQ people this month is a step in the right direction. Jonathan Van Ness, Bobby Berg, Karima Brown, Tan France, and Antoni Porowski appeared on Tuesday's episode of Watch What Happens Live, where Van Ness and Berg discussed the decision and next steps. The Supreme Court ruled June 15th that federal civil rights laws protect lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender workers from being fired based on their sexual orientation or gender identity. Van Ness says, "We're so excited about the Supreme Court ruling. I think it's a really good step. However, it's also really important to talk about why the Equality Act hasn't been passed by Mitch McConnell, which would really extend health care and housing rights." He added, "There's still a lot of really problematic things going on at the same time. The Equality Act would amend existing civil rights laws to provide consistent and explicit non-discrimination protections for LGBTQ people. The bill passed in the House of Representatives in May. Burke agreed with Van Ness that more work needs to be done. Burke said of the Supreme Court ruling, "Long story short, it's a great step in the right direction, but we don't want to let it overshadow the fact that we still have a very large fight to fight, not just for the LGBTQ community, but for any marginalized minority community." On Watch What Happens Live after show, Van Ness responded to Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's controversial remarks about transgendered people. Van Ness says J.K. Rowling's tweets were and are problematic. To be honest, her ideas of gender and her fears around the idea of gender are really rooted in white supremacy. They have been for a very long time. Queer Eye Season 5 premiered on Netflix this month. The cast started filming Season 6 in Austin, Texas prior to the coronavirus pandemic. Zac Efron is giving a glimpse of the new series Down to Earth on Netflix. The streaming service shared the first look photos for the reality series Wednesday featuring the 32-year-old actor. In Down to Earth, Efron travels the world with wellness expert Darian Oley. The pair explore healthy, sustainable ways to live on their stops along the way. One of the pictures shows Efron wearing beekeeping equipment and examining a comb, while another shows the actor netting dough. Down to Earth premieres July 10th. Efron will also star in the QB adventure travel series Killing Zac Efron. The actor was hospitalized in Australia in December after reportedly contracting a bacterial infection while filming in Papua New Guinea. Efron assured fans he was doing well in a health update December 29th. The actor said on Instagram, "Very thankful to everyone who has reached out. I did get sick in Papua New Guinea, but I bounced back quick and finished an amazing 3 weeks in Papua New Guinea." Efron voiced his love for the outdoors in a post on Earth Day in April. He says, "I've always been in awe of the magic and mystery of Mother Nature. Exploring the unknown has always been a true passion in my life, and now more than ever, I realize how important it is to take care of our planet, our people, and every living thing we share with." Apple TV released the trailer for Little Voice, an upcoming drama series behind the writing team of the Broadway musical Waitress. The trailer features Brittany O'Grady as Bess King, a musician chasing her dreams while navigating her complicated personal relationships and family issues. The J.J. Abrams-produced half-hour drama is written by Sarah Bareilles and Jesse Nelson, the team behind the Broadway hit Waitress. The series featured original music by Barris and marks her TV writing debut. Nelson serves as the showrunner. The cast also includes Sean Teal, Colton Ryan, Chuck Cooper, Shalani Bhatia, Philip Johnson Richardson, and Kim Valdez. Little Voice premieres July 10th on Apple TV+, with new episodes being added subsequently Fridays. AMC announced Wednesday its July content will include new content related to its acclaimed original series Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. The network will also air marathons of Saul and films starring Bryan Cranston. Better Call Saul ended its 5th season on Monday, April 20th. A marathon of all 10 Season 5 episodes will air July 9th from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A 6th and final season is in the works. In between the last 2 episodes and during the commercial break, stars Bob Odenkirk and Rhea Seehorn will discuss their roles and answer fan questions for social media. Odenkirk plays Jimmy McGill, the lawyer who would assume the identity of Saul Goodman and become Walter White, played by Cranston's lawyer and money launderer. Seehorn plays his girlfriend, Kim Wexler, who did not appear on Breaking Bad. AMC.com will premiere the digital short-form series The Broken and the Bad on July 9th. Giancarlo Esposito, who starred on both series as Gus Fring, will host. The series explores real-life crime stories that mirror the drama of the show. Breaking Bad star Cranston's films Godzilla and Wakefield will have aired back-to-back on July 6th, with Godzilla at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Wakefield at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Interstitial videos with Cranston will air throughout both movies. In the 2014 American remake of Godzilla, Cranston plays a scientist who teams unearth the giant reptile. In the E.E. Dr. Rowe adaptation Wakefield, Cranston plays a lawyer who suffers a breakdown. Jennifer Garner plays his wife, and Robin Sitcord adapted and directed the movie. Author and television personality Mike Rowe's new 4-episode show Dirty Jobs Road Trip is scheduled to premiere on Discovery Channel on July 7th. The limited series is a follow-up to Rowe's reality show Dirty Jobs, which explores various unusual, messy, and necessary occupations. It ran 8 seasons and wrapped up in 2012. Each episode of Road Trip will feature a specific theme, including infrastructure, innovator, isolation, and animals. Rowe said in a statement, Dirty Jobs Forrest gumped its way to the air in 2004 and changed my life forever. What began as a simple tribute to my grandfather has evolved into the granddaddy of essential work programming, and I'm humbled every day by the number of people who continue to watch. Personally, I've missed the camaraderie more than anything else, the fun of traveling with a tight-knit crew, meeting the finest people you could ever hope to know, and shooting in all 50 states many times over. Looking back at my favorite moments with the old crew was hitting the open road with the perfect way to reunite, especially at a time like the one we are all living through now. I know the fans of the show will have as much fun watching as we did filming. Rowe is the author of the best-selling book, The Way I Heard It, and is currently the host of Facebook's Returning the Favor. On Wednesday, Disney announced it has postponed plans to reopen its California theme parks, citing a delay in guidance from the state. The company said it was forced to postpone the phased reopening of Disneyland and California Adventure theme parks, originally scheduled for July 17th, after the state of California indicated it would not provide theme park reopening guidelines until after July 4th. Plans to reopen the Grand Californian Hotel and Spa and the Paradise Pier Hotel on July 23rd will be affected, as Disney said it must negotiate agreements with unions to return employees to work. Disney said, given the time required for us to bring thousands of cast members back to work and restart our business, we have no choice but to delay the reopening of our theme parks and resort hotels until we receive approval from government officials. Once we have a clear understanding of when guidelines will be released, we expect to be able to communicate a reopening date. Disney noted that the reopening plans for Shanghai Disney Resort, Hong Kong Disney Resort, and Walt Disney World Resort in Florida have been approved. Plans to reopen the downtown Disney District shopping area in California on July 9th will also continue as planned. The announcement came as California has experienced a surge of COVID-19 cases, reportedly more than 6,000 new positive cases on 2 consecutive days this week. The cases in Orange County, where Disney and California Adventure are located, rising to more than 10,700 on Tuesday. Selena Gomez, in partnership with Plus One, has created the Black Equity Fund to raise money for organizations fighting for change. Plus One, a nonprofit, helps artists reach their fans to raise funds for charitable causes. Gomez said on Tuesday on Twitter, @PlusOne.org, and I have created the Black Equality Fund to amplify organizations on the front line of ensuring black voices are heard. It is all of our responsibility to fight for equality and justice for the black community. Silence isn't an option. Let's all join this fight for equality. The Black Equality Fund will raise money for TGI Justice Project, Black Futures Lab, Fair Count, African American Policy Forum, BLDPWR, Color of Change, Know Your Rights Camp, BU Center for Anti-Racist Research, Equal Justice Initiative, and Movements for Black Lives. The singer said in a note posted onto the donation page, everyone needs to have their voices heard, and we can do that by voting, as well as lending our time, effort, and available donations to fight for equality and justice for the black community and other marginalized communities. Join me. Gomez is set to appear on a remix of Trevor Daniels' Past Life, which will release on Friday. And finally, Queen will appear on a new postage stamp in the UK. Britain's Royal Mail unveiled a series of stamps Tuesday featuring Queen's Brian May, Roger Taylor, Freddie Mercury, and John Deacon. Mercury died at the age of 45 in 1991. Royal Mail's Philip Parker said in a statement, with their truly original theatrical sounds and effortless ability to mix musical styles, Queen are rock royalty. We pay tribute to one of the most loved bands of all time with these stunning stamps. The Royal Mail will release 13 stamps set July 9th, with pre-orders available now. The series will feature 8 of Queen's album covers, including Queen 2 and News of the World, a classic photo of the band, and 4 shots from live shows. Queen's guitarist Brian May says, it's hard to put into words what I feel when looking at these beautiful stamps. Since we're 4 precocious boys that started out on our quest 50 years ago, our lives have been devoted to making our impossible dream come true. Sometimes it's strange to wake up and realize the position in which we now held. We have been a rational institution, and nothing brings this home more than this incredible tribute from Royal Mail. Royal Mail previously honored the Beatles in 2007 and Pink Floyd in 2016. May and Taylor continued to perform with Queen plus Adam Lambert with singer Adam Lambert. The group released a new version of Queen's song We Are the Champions titled You Are the Champions in April to raise funds for the coronavirus relief.